Guys, it's Friday. That means we're just 3 days away from this weekend's final order cutoff, order deadlines. So why don't you guys sit back, relax, let me serve you up this nice little appetizer to this weekend's final order cutoff, speculation, and recommendations. What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to the channel. And guys, welcome back, yes, to another final order cutoff, speculation, and recommendations video. Guys, you know what this video is all about. I looked through every single book on this weekend's final order cutoff, trying to find any books that might have something either in the guts or on the cover or anywhere else that you and me can try to speculate on, so that way we can try to make this hobby fund itself. But just remember, I also scour final order cutoff looking for all the best books to pick up to read, and sometimes it's a bonus. You get speculation and recommendations, like that Dune #1. I had no idea that book was going to explode like it did on the secondary market, but if you did not read that book, I highly suggest you do, because the story is freaking amazing. Alright guys, let's not waste any more time, because this video is going to probably be a little long. There are so many second prints, it's crazy. So let's go ahead and cover my 3 weekly speculation reminders. Now, if you guys have seen this video series before, or you guys are seasoned speculators, guys, there are timestamps down in the description below. You guys can skip right ahead to final order cutoff cover lever picks. But if you guys are new to this video series or new to speculation, please hear out these 3 weekly speculation reminders. And the first reminder that I have for you guys every single week, and it is the most important, that is, you guys have to do your own research. I'm going to present some information to you guys today, but what I need you to do is to go check out the comic book YouTubers you trust, other comic book websites that you trust, and other comic book apps that you trust. Gather the most information possible so that way you guys can make the best decisions possible for yourselves. Because remember, you guys are spending your own hard-earned money on these books. It's not my money, it's your money. Now, the second reminder that I have for you guys is that there are delays with comic books. So sometimes a book will show up multiple times on final order cutoff, and that is because its release date got moved for one reason or another. Now, my third and final reminder that I have for you guys is that I highly suggest you check these 2 sources before you finalize any orders you're doing this weekend for final order cutoff. And that is because I record this video before DC, Marvel, and all the independent publishers lock in what's going to be on this weekend's final order cutoff, because they have until 5 p.m. Eastern today, which is May 7th of 2024, to officially lock in what's on this weekend's final order cutoff. So that means they can add or remove books after I finish recording and editing this video. So the 2 places are the Comic Book Frontier. It's a fantastic Facebook group run by my good friend Dal, and he will update his final order cutoff speculation all the way up into the order deadline dates. And the other place is coverprice.com. It is such a great website for comic book secondary market data and just basic comic book knowledge. There's so much amazing things on that website, but they put out an amazing final order cutoff list every single weekend. So guys, remember to check those 2 places, the Comic Book Frontier and coverprice.com, before you finalize your orders. Alright guys, since we're talking about orders, we should probably cover this weekend's final order cutoff, order deadline dates. Alright guys, if you're interested in picking up any of the books that I'm going to show you in today's video, you guys need to get your pre-orders in by June 9th for your DC Scout and Vault books, and June 10th for your Marvel and all the other independent publishers. Now, the big reason why you want to do that is because you can save up to 20% off the cover price of these books at certain online retailers. I will have links down in the description below for the few shops that I like, but guys, 20%, that means a 20% bigger profit on any books that you're able to sell on the secondary market, and that means we're gonna make more money. Alright guys, so that was this weekend's final order cutoff, order deadline dates. Let's go ahead and dive into the good stuff, which are my final order cutoff cover lever picks. Alright guys, I found some pretty interesting covers on this weekend's final order cutoff that could possibly do well on the secondary market, either right out of the gate or in the future. And like I said, Always do your own research, go with your gut, what you think is best, but I think some of these are really interesting, and I think some of these might be a home run. So let's go ahead and dive into these covers, and the first one up is Free Agents issue number 1. Now this is the cover B variant done by Kevin McGuire, and this is just interesting to me. It caught my eye, and when a book catches my eye, you know what, why not put it on the list? You guys do your own research, do what you want, but the story sounds really cool, and this cover is really freaking nice. Alright guys, next up is Batman issue number 150. This is the cover E, which is the 1:25 ratio variant done by Chris Sesme. I think this is a fantastic cover. I love the pink background. I love how Batman looks. He's actually smiling. How often is Batman smiling? I just think this is a great cover, and this is somewhat of a milestone book at issue number 150, or actually issue number 915 in the total run of Batman, which is kind of a milestone, but the 150 definitely is for this current run. But this is just a gorgeous cover in my opinion. Now guys, next up is a possible home run. This is Poison Ivy issue number 24, the cover B variant done by David Nakayama. How many times have I told you guys that I really like seeing superheroes and supervillains doing just human things, and Poison Ivy is just watering her plants. It's so fantastic. She's not over-sexualized, but she is definitely a little sexy, and there's also those little skulls on the bottom right-hand side. Classic, amazing, I freaking love it. This is a gorgeous cover. It is open order, but there is no ratio virgin variant of this. There's just this. I think it could do well. Alright guys, next up is a book that's 100% gonna do well. This is Doom issue number 1, the second print wraparound variant done by Sanford Green. Guys, this book went like, the first print just went nuclear. It went so big. I had no idea this book was gonna be that popular, and Sanford Green's artwork is incredible, and this wraparound variant, I'll show you this, just the front cover, but then I'll show an image of it, like, you know, the full thing. It is incredible. It is such a gorgeous cover, and with the first print doing so well, I think these second prints are gonna do really well as well. Now guys, next up is Doom issue number 1, the second print 1:25 virgin ratio variant done by Sanford Green. This is just the cover A from the first print, but a virgin, and again, Sanford Green's art is so good. Now guys, moving on, we get X-Men issue number 1, the exclusive variant from 616 Comics, Fandom Comics Shop, and Comics Trader. This is done by Pablos Villalobos, and it is fantastic. I try not to put exclusive covers on here because you never know how many copies of these books are actually printed. I know they say it's like 1,000 or 1,500 or 3,000, but you never really know. But this cover featuring Psylocke by Villalobos, it is so good. Now there is a trade dress and there is a virgin, but how good is this cover? I can see this selling out and doing well on the secondary market in the future. Now next up is X-Men issue number 1, the 1:100 virgin ratio variant done by J. Scott Campbell featuring Psylocke. There is a trade dress version of this, but this version is just, it is really good, and I can see this cover doing really well. Now I have 2 more covers for you guys. Next up is Van Helsing Hexed, the cover D variant done by Ivan Tao. This is fantastic. It is really good. Now I believe this is a one-shot and not a series of issues. I could be wrong, but there was no number next to the book on previews, so this is the cover for, I believe, what is a one-shot, and it is so good. Now the final cover that I'm going to show you guys is a book that I think is going to explode. It's going to do really well, and it's going to be really hard to get your hands on. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 1, the 1:500 ratio variant done by Sean Murphy. How freaking amazing is this cover? And IDW, I dislike you so much right now, so much for making this a 1:500 ratio variant. There's going to be so few copies of this book out there. How many shops, how many actual shops are going to be able to order 500 just to get one of these? One of these. I think this book is going to do super well. It's a new number 1 for Turtles, written by Jason Aaron. There's just so much good going for this book, and this cover is freaking incredible. All right, guys, that's how we're going to end the cover lover picks for this week, is with just a pure freaking banger. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which are my second prints, facsimiles, and beyond. There is truly an overwhelming plethora of second prints this week, and I should say third prints and facsimiles. I don't know why Marvel is like deciding to have second prints for like every single book they're putting out, but it's pretty ridiculous, and I think they need to stop, but that's my own opinion. But we have some books that we need to cover, so let's go ahead and dive right in. And first off, our two that we always spoke about, it is Doom issue number 1, the second print wraparound variant done by Sanford Green. And after that is Doom issue number 1, the second print 1:25 ratio virgin variant done by Sanford Green. Both those covers I feel are going to do well. All right, guys, next up is Black Panther Blood Hunt issue number 1 with the blood-soaked second print variant done by Andre Sorrentino. And after that, we have Spider-Gwen the Ghost Spider issue number 1 with the second print variant done by Ernarda Souza. I have no idea how to pronounce that person's first name, but this is a pretty good cover. It was the foil in the first printing, but it doesn't say that's a foil on the second printing. Now, guys, next up is Spider-Gwen the Ghost Spider issue number 1 with the second print 1:25 virgin ratio variant done by Mark Brooks. And after that is Ultimate Black Panther issue number 4 with the second print variant done by Stefano Gasilli. And after that is Ultimate Black Panther issue number 4, the second print 1:25 virgin ratio variant done by Stefano Gasilli. And after that is X-Men 97 issue number 3 with the second print done by Marvel Animation. And after that is Midnight Suns Blood Hunt issue number 1 with the blood-soaked second print variant done by Ken Lashley. And guess what? There's more. And after that is Divine Power Made Me issue number 1, the second print variant done by Tom Jogalis. I'm going to say that's how it's pronounced. And after that is Greylock issue number 1 with the second print variant done by Jason Moore. This book actually sounded pretty cool. It's basically in the future, and there's like all kinds of fantastical beings, but it's kind of like that movie with Will Smith where he was working with an orc police officer, and there's like, you know, magic everywhere. It's kind of like that. It sounds pretty cool. I didn't know about it until I saw this second print, but guys, you might want to check this book out. All right, guys, after that is Grommets issue number 1 with the second print variant done by Brett Parson. I am so excited to read my issue. I have 2 copies. I have the cover A and I have the 1:25 ratio variant that I got yesterday. I haven't read it yet, but people in the Discord are saying that this book did bring it home. It was really good. So I'm super excited. And if you guys have not joined the Discord, there is a link down in the description. There's a lot of people in there now, all talking comics. It's a ton of fun. Join the Discord. All right, guys, we have 2 more. Next up is Redcoat issue number 1 with the third print variant done by Brian Hitch. And the last, second, third print or beyond is Rook Exodus issue number 1 with the third print variant done by Jason Fabak. Now we got to go over to the facsimiles. First up is Wolverine issue number 88, the facsimile edition in the facsimile foil. Now this obviously has the first battle between Wolverine and Deadpool. But guys, there is another cover that artwork is not released just yet. Is Wolverine 88, the facsimile 1:25 ratio variant done by David Yarden. And after that, we have Jim Henson's Dark Crystal, the Archive Edition, issue number 1, with the cover A, which is the original cover, done by Brett Blevins and Vince Coletta. And after that, we have Jim Henson's Dark Crystal Archive Edition, issue number 1, with the cover B, done by Franny. And this is actually a really nice cover. And this movie gave me severe nightmares when I was a little kid and I watched it. It was crazy. I had such bad nightmares for a very long time. But guys, those are all the second prints, facsimiles, and beyond. Let's go ahead and check out the couple books that had something in the guts that I found that are on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. Alright guys, there are 4 books that had a little something in the guts, or at least something about them that you could possibly spec on, so let's go ahead and dive right in. And the first one up is Batman issue number 150. This is technically a milestone issue because we were at issue number 150 of the current run. But if you look at the full run of Batman, it's issue number 915, which really isn't a milestone issue, but for the current run, I guess it is. There are some decent covers for this. I really just like the cover A. I think that's the best, and also the 1:25 by Chris Esme. Other than that, there's not too much going on for this book, but I gotta give you guys the information. Alright guys, after that is Spider-Boy issue number 9. Now, the solicitation for this book does mention featuring at least one spider you've seen before, but never on these Mighty Marvel pages. Now, I'm sure that mighty word is a little bit of a hint. So this means there's a possible first appearance of a multiversal Spider-Man not introduced yet in comics in this book. Alright guys, after that is a book that was delayed from last week to this week, and that is X-Men issue number 1 with the debut of the Factory, the new headquarters of the X-Men, which is up in Alaska, and also the possible first appearance of Agent Lundquist. Now, the final book to talk about is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 1, with the first issue of a new run written by Jason Aaron, the premiere issue. Turtles, guys. Turtles. And you guys already saw that 1 in 500, there are a bunch of really good covers, and I did not include any of the exclusives, but there are so many. I think this book could be really big if it's written really well. It's all about how it's written, how the story comes across. The turtles are separated, and Jason Aaron is going to bring them back together, and hopefully it's going to be an awesome story, because the turtles separate are not very cool, but the turtles together are amazing. Now, I do want to show you guys a quick image for Dyke Ruan's cover for issue number 2. It is so good. But that's issue number 2. We got to talk about issue number 1. My favorites for issue number 1, I'll put them at the end of the video. It's obviously going to be the 1 in 500 by Sean Gordon Murphy. And there is another one. I'm blanking on the name. I didn't write it down like an idiot. I'll put it up on screen right now. It is absolutely gorgeous. There's just so many covers. I don't know which one is going to do the best besides that Sean Gordon Murphy. But guys, those were the 4 books that I found that had something in the guts that we can speculate on. So let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which is my spec picks of the week. That's right, I am not telling you guys to save your money this week. There are some books that I think are going to do well on the secondary market, either right out of the gate or in the future. So let's go ahead and cover these books. And the first book up is Poison Ivy, issue number 24, with the cover B variant done by David Nakayama. Look at this cover. It is so freaking good. So good. It is open order, but how many copies are going to be ordered of this book? It's issue 24 of this run. 24. I don't think a lot of shops are going to order heavily on this book just for this cover. So I don't think this cover is going to be rare by no means, but I think it's going to sell out, and that's when the secondary market will start to grow for this book. All right, guys, after that, we do have Doom, issue number 1 with the second print wraparound variant done by Sanford Green, which is an incredible cover. It is so good. And with how popular the first print was, I think this book is 100% going to sell out. I am going to pre-order myself a copy of this book because I do not want to miss out on this cover. Now, that's obviously Doom, issue number 1, the second print, 1 in 25, Virgin ratio variant done by Sanford Green. I like this, but not as much as the new artwork for the regular second print. I think that's where it's at. With that new artwork, it's incredible. The Virgin is okay. It is a 1 in 25, so it is going to be a little bit more rare, but the new artwork is just so freaking good. But I think both of these are great buys. Now, guys, after that, are there any more covers? Of course there is. We got to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 1, with the 1 in 500 ratio variant done by Sean Murphy. If you can get your hands on this, if you can, I think you'll make money. I think you will, especially if the book is super crispy. I think this is just a home run. There's going to be so few of these, and turtle fans are big. They're out there. They love their turtles, and I think this book is going to do really well. I don't know if it's going to be like super amazing, like thousands and thousands of dollars, at least not right out of the gate, but I think you're going to be able to make some money right out of the gate. All right, guys, there are nothing really to talk about with the second prints, in my opinion, besides the 2 we already talked about, which is Doom issue number 1, the second print in the 1 in 25. I would keep an eye on that Grommets, because I did see a little bump in the secondary market sales for Grommet issue number 1. So keep an eye on that. You never know. Now, if we go down to the book that had something in the guts, I'm going to say Turtles. I think this book is going to be super popular. I think this book, yes, is probably going to be largely ordered. So I would probably aim for those ratio books, the ones that you like the best. But I think with the resurgence of Turtles, with the writer of Jason Aaron, I think it could do well. I really do. And let's go ahead and end this with adding in X-Men issue number 1 with Psylocke with the 1 in 100 and just the cover A by Ryan Stegman. And with this just relaunching the new series, there could be a lot of buzz about it, especially if the story is written really well and it's written by Jed MacKay. There's a chance. There is a chance that this is going to be really good. And I do want to throw one more book in there. I know I said X-Men was the last one, but Spider-Boy issue number 9. If we get a really cool first appearance in this book, even though supposedly they've already been seen out in the world, but this is the first comic appearance, people love spiders. I don't know why. They love new spider characters, and really cool ones always do well, so maybe this one is going to be really cool, and people are going to want it. They just love spiders. People really do. All right, guys. I was all over the place on my spec picks of the week, but I think all those books that I spoke about could do well either right out of the gate or in the future. All right, guys. Yeah, let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which are my final order cutoff recommendations to read. There weren't that many new number ones on this weekend's Final Order cutoff, but there is one book. When I saw it, I was like, you guys have to be picking this up because it's gonna be so freaking good. And it is Nemesis Rogues Gallery issue number 1, coming from the freaking amazing writer of Mark Millar and art by Valerio Giangiordano. This book is gonna be freaking incredible. Now, I honestly have never seen the artwork for Valerio Giangiordano, but the writing by Mark Millar is going to be a home run. If you did not read the last Nemesis series, you missed out. That series was mind-boggling good. And then there was Big Game. Big Game was so huge, and Nemesis played a huge part in that. And there was a tragic ending for him, as you can see in the cover of issue number 1 for his new series. But guys, this is gonna be so good. But let me go ahead and read the synopsis for this book. Miller World and Dark Horse Comics are proud to present the debut of a brand new arc of the best-selling thriller Nemesis. Immediately following the events of the smash hit Big Game, Nemesis lies broken, destroyed, but hell-bent on vengeance against every single person who wronged him. The bloody fire back begins here as he marshals together a plan for the ages. I am so pumped. This character is like Batman on crack, but like the most evil version of Batman. It is so freaking good. I'll try to find some preview pages for this so that way I can show you the art style of Valerio Giangiordano, but just know this story is gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. Every single Mark Millar story from last year was on some list of mine because it was so good. So you guys have to be picking this up. All right, guys, that is the book that I just, you know, I know the story is gonna be so good. So trust me, pick this book up. But I still have some covers to talk to you guys about that's coming out on next week's new comic book day, which is June 12th of 2024. Alright guys, this is the last section of the video and we're going to end it with some bangers because why not, right? So all these covers are coming out on next week's new comic book day, which like I said, is coming out on June 12th of 2024. So if you guys have not already scored yourself a copy of these, I would definitely reach out to your local comic book shop and let them know that you're interested in case they might have a copy for you. Alright guys, first up is Blood Hunt Red Band Edition issue number 3 with the 1 in 25 Bloody Homage variant done by Carlos Magno. Now, I don't know what book this is homaging, but all of these homage books have done really well on the secondary market, so why would the trend stop now? Now, there is a possibility that this trend is going to die because I did hear that the second print for issue number 1, if you did order 25 copies of the second print, you got a copy of the 1 in 25 first print. So that will mean more of those are going to be hitting the market, which could completely kill the secondary market for these homage covers. So guys, make sure you're doing your own research before you buy one of these books and try to speculate on it. All right, guys, next up is Deadpool issue number 3 with the movie variant. Now, the reason why I put this on the list is because if stars like Ryan Reynolds do a signing at CGC, a lot of people like to have movie variants to have them signed. So if Ryan Reynolds ever does a signing in the future, I can see this book doing well. All right, guys, after that is Thundercats issue number 5 with the cover V variant, which is the 1 in 40 ratio variant done by Ivan Tao. There is a trade dress of this as well. There's multiple versions of this, like multiple, but I think this one, the cover V, which is the 1 in 40, it's the higher ratio variant, is gonna be the one to get. All right, guys, after that, we have Scarlet Witch issue number 1 with the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Alexander Lozano. I personally really like this cover. I really do. I'm a huge fan of Alexander Lozano, and even though Scarlet Witch's headdress does look a little weird, I think this book could do well. There's a lot of people really excited for this book, so I can see this one doing well. But the book to really chase after, if you're going to chase after a Scarlet Witch one, is Scarlet Witch issue number 1, the 1 in 100 Virgin ratio variant done by Jenny Frison. I hope you guys got your Vampy book from this week on New Comic Book Day, which was, what was it? The 5th? Because I know on my comic book shop, all the ones by Jenny Frison sold out like super quick. They were gone. Gone. If you didn't pre-order it, you didn't get it. So, this book right here, the 1 in 100 Virgin ratio variant by Jenny Frison, is the one to get, in my opinion. Now, there is one other cover that I like that could maybe do well, maybe not, I don't know. I'm going to show it to you anyways. It is Gun Honey Collision Course issue number 1 with the second print variant done by Derek Chu. It's just a different color background with the color from the girl completely gone. I freaking love it. I really like this cover. I'm definitely going to get myself a copy of this. I did not pre-order it, but I love it. And I also love that there's the like the 3D look to it. It's like the 3 different colors, red, blue, and green. It's awesome. It's freaking great. All right, guys, those are my new comic book day cover lover picks for next week that I think could possibly do well on the secondary market. Speculation. That's what we're talking about. All right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, guys, we are at the end of today's video, and I am sweating profusely. It is so hot in this room right now. But we're at the end of today's video, and I'm just going to thank each and every single one of you who has stuck around from the beginning to the very end and let you guys know you guys are legends. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end. Now, if you guys watch that video and you guys enjoy comic book content and you're not subscribed, well, what are you doing? Get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notifications, and smash that like button. All right, guys, if you guys have not checked out my last product showcase video for a while, I posted it on Wednesday. There are some amazing bags and clear boards from a company called Comic Clear Supplies. They were the best of all the bags that I've showcased on this channel. They were so freaking good. All right, guys, check out that video. Have a great weekend. Have a great final order cutoff, and I'll catch you guys next week with the biggest new comic book day pull I've ever had, ever. It's going to be huge. It's going to be amazing. And that's going to be on Monday, I hope, on the Wednesday pull list. All right, guys, have a great weekend. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.